The marathon June 1970 recording sessions were held here. It was expected to go, or at least after the success of the American sound recordings in Memphis the year before, there was a belief that Elvis would go back to record there, but he actually came back here to RCA Victor studio to record the tracks that would form the basis of the That's the Way It Is, obviously not the live recordings, but the studio recordings. That's the way it is. Elvis Country and Love Letters from Elvis, plus several singles. I've Lost You, I Really Don't Want to Know, There Goes My Everything, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, which all were recorded. They're all recorded here. This is the side door here. There's pictures of Elvis getting out of the car, excuse the sun, getting out of the car on June 4th 1970 for his marathon session that was held here. This was grass verge at the time, but you can clearly see this is where Elvis was standing outside the studio. Civic Centre. It was the Municipal Auditorium, and Elvis played here in September 70. Going down Adams here, and this is the Fire Service Museum, and this is actually Memphis Fire Engine House number 1. This was built in 1910. Next door, the Memphis Police Station, finished a year later in 1911. This is the police house, now empty. So on Craft Road, just a bit up from Elvis Presley Boulevard, down there you can just see the fence going on the side of the new Elvis's Memphis. Here, this was the Trinity Baptist Church, and on 20th of December, Sonny West, one of Elvis's bodyguards and entourage, was married here, and Elvis was his best man. And Elvis showed up in a fur suit, a black fur jacketed suit with guns in each boot and in his suit belt. Yeah, and from the wedding they proceeded over to Graceland then, where Elvis had laid on a reception, and they all had their pictures, all Elvis and his entourage all had their pictures taken with their sheriff badges.